And good evening. Welcome now to Bushwoods in Poplar Bluff. I'm Frankie Castillo. It is our very first Coach's Corner. We are live on the radio on 93.3 FM, 9:30 a.m., as well as Facebook and our YouTube channel. We want to thank you again for tuning in here tonight. Very exciting night. Now, coming up in just a moment, we're going to be introducing you to some of our coaches, our softball program, and our football program. In the meantime, let's bring in one of the owners here to Bushwoods, also Mules Booster Club. I've got Derek Rawman, and once again, Derek, so exciting to be here tonight, and we've just got a fun night planned for high school football and softball, and really all of our Mules sporting events here tonight.
That's right. This is something you and I have talked about for a little while here, and Coach Kent Keith. I just thought it was something that would be great for the program, the community as a whole, just to get more awareness about our sports programs and, give some recognition to the coaches and to the players.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the Mules Booster Club, because for the last several weeks now we have been talking about the new scoreboard, but I want to bring another attention to the Mules Booster Club because you guys do so much for all of our athletic programs, whether it's cooking for them or making sure that they have what they need equipment-wise. Either way, you guys do a lot for the programs.
That's right. And what we try to do is we try to give the athletes stuff over and above what they wouldn't normally get through the school budget. We've already cooked out a tailgate for the football team for the first home game. We're going to be cooking again this Friday night for the pink out game as well. We've cooked for the softball team, and we're willing to cook for all the other teams as well, and we plan on doing that too. So
you talk about the tailgate coming up on Friday, and it's pink out night. Hard to believe it's already pink out night during the football games, but pink out means a lot to a lot of folks, and it's very special time for everybody to come together. And oh, by the way, it is also senior night coming up on Friday. I know softball's already had their senior night festivities. Hard to believe that we're already entering in the last of September, getting into October.
I know it's flown by this year. Football only having 4 home games this year. It goes by at a blink of an eye. It's looking forward to football this Friday night, build off the momentum from last week, and see if we can do it again this week.
Absolutely, and can you believe it? And coming up later on, we'll talk to head coach Dave Sievers. I've been saying this now all week long, but just how big this game really is on Friday night. Mules get a win on Friday. We're in the driver's seat, Derek, to not only be in a good position, but maybe even play at home in Week 10, and that's big.
That's huge. It's absolutely huge to have a home playoff game. It's the kids, like I said, building off the momentum from last week. I wasn't able to make it over to Sykeston, but I watched the broadcast. Looked like we played with some confidence, played with a little bit of swagger. And, I think they're going to build on that confidence and momentum this week.
Let's just address the elephant in the room. I know you wore maroon. Kent Keith wore maroon. The coaches wore maroon, and I had to go and wear red. What is wrong with this picture?
Well, you're wearing red and you like Chicago Cubs. I don't know what in the world is wrong with you.
This is like the second time I've done something that silly. But no, seriously, on a more serious note, what a gorgeous place you have right here at Bushwoods. It's a fun atmosphere, whether you're an adult or a child.
Thank you. We worked really hard trying to get this. It's kind of our dream that we've been working on for the past year. We're trying to make it fun for anybody of all ages. We've literally had newborns to 90 years old in here. We're trying to come together and be the community, sports restaurant and bar. With our simulators, it's a great source of entertainment. It's just a really fun atmosphere, fun place to be.
It really is. And, speaking real quickly, before we bring in the softball program, I did want to say one thing that going on right now at the high school. The scoreboard has been installed, and it's really a huge addition to not just football, but also for soccer games, boys and girls, and they're going to be able to enjoy it also.
That's right. The original scoreboard that we had at the stadium, we actually had bought used, and we've had problems with it for several years now, so we really needed one bad. Had some delays in the shipping and building out the new scoreboard, so our goal was to have it installed by the first game, and as we can tell, that didn't happen. We did get it up and running for Monday night for the JV and freshman game. Everything seems to be working good, and we're we're going to keep tweaking it over the next couple weeks, but it's going to be a great addition to the facilities.
I've been told, I've not seen it actually installed yet, but they tell me that the sound coming out of it is amazing. It's really top-notch.
Absolutely it is. It's much better than our old speaker system that we had. But no, and it's got great graphics, video board on there. You and I have been talking a lot. We're going to sell some advertising, not only static ads on the side of the board, but we'll also have digital content where you can buy advertising that will run your actual ads on the video board.
And we're going to be talking about all that coming up in great detail, and you'll be able to put folks in touch with, if they're interested in sponsoring the video board, you'll be able to take good care of them.
Absolutely. Get a hold of myself or one of the other booster members. Sam Tucker on our Booster Club board is kind of ramrodding the advertising side of things. But reach out to one of us. We'd love to have you and show your support for the Poplar Bluff Mules.
Absolutely, Derek. Thank you again. And what most folks don't know, this whole Coach's Corner was your idea. You came to me and said, you know what, we need to do something. I agree, we need to do something. And what a great way to kick this off on a Tuesday night.
Absolutely. Got a good crowd in here. Should be a lot of fun.
All right, so I guess the first things first, we'll introduce head coach Aaron Duncan of our softball program. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea.
All right, so we'll get Coach Aaron Duncan right now. He'll come over here and talk to us live on the air, and we'll let him. Right now, he's actually talking to some of the players, Derek. And you know what? You might be here all night waiting for Coach Duncan to get through talking to his players.
Well, I guess a good coach never stops coaching.
That's right. He never stops coaching. So make sure and let us know here on the video feed. What do you think about the setup here at Bushwood's? Great background drop with the Coach's Corner. That was a good touch, by the way, Derek, having that behind us.
Well, I mean, if you're going to have a 10-foot tall, 15-foot wide screen, why not use it to your benefit, right?
Absolutely. We'll let Coach Duncan get in here on the action, and we'll talk about some softball coming up here with our Lady Mules softball coach, and that is Aaron Duncan. We'll let him get mic'd up. Have a seat, Coach, and thank you again for joining us tonight at Bushwoods. It is the Coach's Corner. Joining us now live is the head coach of the Lady Mules softball program, head coach Aaron Duncan. And Coach, you do so much for a lot of our sports. Talk about softball, where we are this season so far, and what's it like being the first-year coach of the Lady Mules softball team.
I mean, well, it's a journey. It's a process, and, just been driving the bus a little bit and going out of town quite a bit and a lot of games, and it's a really short season. So we didn't have a whole lot of things this summer just because of the timeline, and trials started, I think, August 5th or 8th, and here we are coming up on 2 months, and, district tournament's around the corner, so it's a quick season.
We were discussing the district tournament. I can't believe that in a couple of weeks, October the 8th, I believe, you guys are going to begin districts. So talk about this season in general. I got a chance to see you guys play a couple of Saturdays ago, and it was amazing watching the girls battle back. And they were down by several runs. They would come back, and they would keep battling. Talk about your team and how relentless they are when it comes to getting better on and off the softball field.
They're a resilient group, and coming in, we had 4 players with any significant amount of varsity experience, and so that's been something that these older girls have really worked with the younger ones and really helped them to mature as players and just as student athletes, because it's not easy. We play 4:30 games, and so we leave school early quite often, and so a lot of these kids have never had that happen before. They haven't had to experience that, and they're missing class and things like that, and so it's difficult for them to pick up where they left off, and so these seniors have really helped out in that aspect of it. As far as the season goes, we're getting better. And we talk about the first half of the season, the middle half, and then the second half, which is playoffs. You want to play your first regular season to get ready for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And I know everybody looks at wins and losses and records and things like that throughout the season as a gauge for success, but in competitive sports, a lot of times, most times, you can't gauge your success off of your record. We had a game earlier in the year over at Ozark, and we were playing Francis South Central, and they finished second in the state last year. They're a different team this year, but we're down 8-0. They had hit a couple homers, and we came out in the bottom of the fourth and put 10 runs on them. And, they went silent. And, we ended up losing that game 14-11. Time ran out, international rules, player on second, so on. But it was a great experience. And so the experiences that they've gained throughout this season, hopefully by October, it's going to pay off.
I was going to say, you look at the record overall from this team, and it doesn't tell the whole story, how good this team is, how close this team is, and like you said a moment ago, they're getting better as the season progresses.
Very much so. The other day, a couple weeks, maybe 10 days ago, a week and a half ago, looking at stats and averages, and, one of our players has 600 on-base percentage. Several of them over 500 on-base percentage. We got several girls right now. Batting 400 plus. So there's a lot of positives. People have been put in different positions that they've never been put in before, just because of circumstances and, where we needed them. And they've been willing to do that since the beginning. Just a great team first mentality, and that's just a tribute to these kids that are team first players.
I was going to say, you look at the team as an average, and they're batting about 359. That's pretty impressive as a team average.
It is. It's pretty good. I think right now we have 2 batting over 400, and like a week ago, that was 5. But we got into a stretch here where we played, 9 games in 8 days, and that's just tough. This softball, like baseball, they're similar in aspect of it's a game of failure. You just got to come back the next day and just think, I'm gonna hit 500. If you're hitting over 400 or close to 500, in softball, then you're hitting pretty well. Our kids are growing. They're going through growing pains, our younger kids, and that's just part of it. But we just are appreciative of our seniors that have really just taken these girls under their wing and really just helped mature them as student athletes.
I'm going to get to the players in just a moment, but for you personally, what's it like being the head coach? How much fun are you having as the head coach of the Lady Mules softball program?
It really is. It really has been enjoyable, and I know a lot of times when you look at records, if you're on the losing end of a lot of games, you think, well, it's not very enjoyable. But it's and this goes to just who these kids are. It has been enjoyable, and I've thought several times I'm grateful to have this opportunity to help these girls through student athletes first, and especially these upperclassmen, and just to hopefully let them have an enjoyable experience. And they've been the ones that have made it enjoyable for us.
I was going to say, I've watched you coach this season, and it doesn't matter what the record is. I don't think there's a game where you haven't had the time of your life being the coach out there.
Really, because
it's like you're a little kid out there sometimes.
It is, because I told, and you can ask them that from the get-go.
Oh, I plan on it.
We've said that we really think that 1 through 9, even with lack of experience, 1 through 9, we have 9 tough outs. And we know that other teams are going to hit us. Mm-hmm. We know that. We don't have a dominant pitcher, and that's part of the game. But we really think that we can put runs on the board, and we've showed that several times this year. We're down to Sykeston at home, I think first or second home game of the year, and we're down 5-1, and we come off the field, and Rallman grabs everybody and says, "Hey, let's get in there and let's battle and let's put some runs on the board." And we scored 8 that next inning and 6 the next inning, and end up, up 14-5, just like that. And like I said, the Francis House Central game, we've had several innings where we've hit the ball. Hefner had 2 doubles in the game against Francis House Central in 1 inning. Our freshman led the inning off with a hit and got another hit in the same inning. I mean, so there's been so many like positives, and I know that can get overlooked, you know, with wins and losses. But we've seen so many positives and so much growth in our kids that you just can't help but sit back and just enjoy watching them grow.
Absolutely. Let's talk about October, because coming up, districts will be here. I want to know here and now where this team could be when it comes district time. You were telling me off the air a particular seed number you thought of, but this team is going to be very dangerous come October 8th.
I've said this for weeks to them that it doesn't. Whatever seed we get, it really doesn't matter. You got to go through everybody to win a district anyway. Right. And, you know, when you look at the amount of districts that softball program has had over the course of since 79 or whatever, you know, it's not a lot. So going into districts, there's four or five teams that are kind of right there similar as far as records go. We may be down there 6 or 7, which will put us playing a 2 or 3. And that's really fine because the top 4 are really pretty much equal. You know, Jackson possibly could be the 4 or 5. I don't know. They could be the 3. Who knows? You just never know about how people are going to vote. But, you know, speaking of, you know, Jackson, we go to Jackson. We lose 8-1. Roland gets a little small fracture in her knuckle during the game, has to come out. Went up losing 8-1. Jackson the week before had lost to Farmington 10-0, then went to Marquette and beat Marquette. Marquette was like number 6 in the state. So you just never know. It's a game of who knows. So, I mean, you know, we go in, we're 6 or 7, then we're playing a 2 or 3, and, hey, we're just going to give them all we got. And I'm just saying, if I was a team that had to play us, because we saw Oakville first game of the year, if I was a team that had to play us and I knew how we can hit, I would. It wouldn't be fun to play us in the first round.
Amen to that. I'm so glad you were able to come on here tonight and kind of share some of the success so far this season with your program. And best of luck coming up to you guys as you get ready for the districts in October. On a side note, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to get that beard growing longer than yours. It's going.
You probably will, but I'm going to beat you on the
grayness?
Color.
Absolutely. So let's listen. You're an important part of this program, but I thought we would bring some players on with your permission. What do you think?
Sure.
So who do we have here tonight, and who's going to be interviewed first?
We have our 4 seniors, Claire Rallman, Adrian Casey, Madeline Hefner, and Peyton Willis. And I don't know.
Which one do you want first? We're going to get all 4 of them.
We'll go with Casey.
All right, we'll go with Adrian Casey right off the bat here. We'll welcome her in. Don't let her trip on that cord there, Coach. Don't need that for sure.
She's our speaker. She keeps everybody up. She's always talking on the field, and she just really brings that to our team. And we don't have to go in alphabetical order, but
do you want to stay? You want to stay here with us? Well, I've got another mic here she can hold if she wants to. It's up to you, Coach. That way, if I say something silly, you can kind of wheel me in a little bit. So, Adrian, welcome to our broadcast here tonight, and let's talk about the Lady Mules softball program. More importantly, as a senior and as Coach said, as a voice on the softball team, what's it been like for you so far?
Obviously, there's been a couple challenges that we've had to overcome, but I think as the season has progressed, we have kind of bonded together as a team, and you can kind of see it play out on the field. And the reason why I want to talk so much and kind of get everybody involved with the game is because it not only engages you, but it also helps other people know what they're doing and kind of just allows us to play to our full potential.
It's like you guys don't look at your overall win-loss record because it's like for this team, there is no quit in this softball team. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. We take it one pitch at a time, one at-bat at a time, and one game at a time. I think the second you start looking at the games as an overall, you let that define kind of how you play, and I don't really agree with that because it's, again, just one thing at a time.
One of the 4 seniors on this softball team, if you don't mind me asking, Coach, what are some of your weaknesses you guys want to work on before district time? And the same question, what are some strengths you guys have that you want to continue to build on?
I would say some of our weaknesses is, again, like letting things define you, letting like a bad play carry on to the next one, and not being able to kind of just pick yourself up, because other people can help you try to pick yourself up, but really just depends on how you can pick yourself up. And our strength is just the ability to be so down the whole game, or whenever it is, one inning, whatever, and then just randomly snap back and score however many runs. I think we've done a great job at that.
So when it comes district time, in your mind, through your eyes, how dangerous could this team be come in October?
I think 100% we could prove something in ourselves and show people the potential that we've had and have the whole season. I think as long as everybody just wants it, we can definitely do something.
I'm going to ask all 4 seniors. Don't worry about this guy sitting to my left. What's it like playing for this guy as the head coach? What's it like?
He's a really good guy, and I can see how much time and effort he's put in. Whereas like someone who completely knows everything, you can tell with like the work and the ethic that he's put in to it and his own time and into us. You can see how it's really like worked in on us, how much he's determined and believes in us.
Absolutely. And obviously the will to win is with you girls. And of course, come October in districts, I got a feeling you guys are going to shock a lot of teams come October. Appreciate you giving us the time. Anything you want to say to the folks watching at home about this softball program and you seniors as well?
We don't give up. We're definitely a hardworking team, and we've had a lot of doubt. We had a lot of doubt last year. But numbers, statistics, we determine how we play, and so that's all I would like to say.
What do you think, Coach? Anything you want to add to that?
This is her. It's just been a joy to just coach her, because she's always out there getting everybody up, just always. And he asked me earlier what was enjoyable about it, and it was stuff like this. And she's going to carry this on, and I told them earlier that they're teaching our younger kids a lot of things that they don't even know they're teaching them.
Right.
That have nothing to do with softball. And we talk about the details. We talk about all the little stuff that has to go on for you to even become a good player at anything. But in general, with softball, but there's a lot of little stuff. And these girls right here, they don't walk off. They don't leave the equipment laying around. They go do all the stuff. They carry all the stuff. They're seniors. And a lot of times you might not have that with seniors. And they have taken that and they own it. And it's just a quality that is, it's just not out there a lot these days. And so I think they exhibit that, and it's just enjoyable to just, be around that.
So obviously, Adrian, you're the speaker of the seniors. Which one is the most bashful one of the seniors? What would you say? Which one would you say?
You want me to bashful?
No, which one is
shy?
more nervous and shy?
Okay, that's not what I thought you were going. Out of the seniors,
who would you say? Tough question.
As far as getting on here?
Yeah. Which one do you think?
Probably Clara.
Well, let's get her on then. What do you say?
Clara.
Since she's the most bashful one, we'll get Claire on. And you stick around. You're not going nowhere.
Okay.
Thank you again, Adrian, for coming on tonight. Thank you so much. Absolutely. We're going to get Miss Rallman to come in here now. And you're welcome, Miss Kathleen Patillo. Love doing this for our Lady Mule softball program. So before we introduce Miss Rallman, talk about her a little bit, and what should we know about her?
There's a lot. She's a gamer, and if you're playing, if you're on the team, or if you're against her, you don't want to play against her. But if you're on the team, it's like I'm picking her. You know what I mean? Like if you're out there picking teams, multiple positions in the outfield. Can catch, our number one pitcher, lowest ERA, most strikeouts, leads the team in hits, all that, and there's more. I was typing it up today. I was looking at it, and there's a lot. And most plate appearances, leadoff hitter. But let me tell you, it's like I was talking about with Adrian and with these four. After the game last night, she comes over and she says, "Is there anything else we need to do? Is there anything else I need to do?" Because she breaks down the net, she breaks down this, she puts this up, she goes and takes and puts the equipment up, and nothing's ever left out. And so that's the thing, like with those four and especially her, that she's teaching the younger kids that is so valuable that they don't know that when they leave that that's going to be what they left. And she's the leader of that.
I think I may know the answer, Clara, but talk about what is your favorite game by far this season? What would you say that game would be?
Well, it would probably be our first home game, North County.
I knew she was going to say that one. It was a great ball game.
Yes, it was really intense, but I've obviously been there before. And I've had a lot of pressure situations at bat, and that was definitely like one of my top ones. But like I just stepped in the box and I was like, yeah, I can do this. And I went for it, and we won the game. So
you know, it wasn't that you went for it. I mean, you pitched a shutout ball game. How many innings did that thing go?
8 or 9.
8 or 9. I think it was 8, was it not? Or was it?
I think it was more.
I thought it was 10.
I think it was 10.
I think it was 10,
I think
actually.
it was 10.
Yeah, so 10 innings of shutout softball. We're going to go with 10 whether it was or not. I think it was 10.
I'm pretty sure. That's been a long time ago. It wasn't that long, but it's a long time.
Walk us through that. What was it like on the mound, as it was a very close ball game, a big rival with North County, and you get the shutout victory, 1-0. Talk about that. What was it like being a senior out there and leading this team to victory?
Well, a lot of like being on the mound has to do with your mental toughness. And so really I just had to put the thought in my head to like stay strong the whole game, don't get down on myself. Even though like my defense is trying so hard for me, if they make an error, it's okay. They're going to get the next one. Like I know my teammates have my back, and I just have to have that in my head the whole game. So
what Coach Duncan tells me is this team is close, from the underclassmen to the upperclassmen. You see it that way as well?
Yeah, mostly. Sometimes we have a hard time being like a team, really, but we've gotten a lot better as the season has went on. So
same thing I asked Adrian. Talk about some of the weaknesses you guys are currently working on as you guys get ready for districts, and also what are some strengths you guys have that you're really proud of and want to get better before October?
I think probably our number one weakness would be communication, just on and off the field. Like if a ball's hit in the middle of two people not talking and then making an error, that's like a really big part of it. And then like in the dugout when the team isn't cheering because we're losing, like honestly you shouldn't be able to tell if you're winning or losing the game. Your team should always be up in the dugout. But our strengths would really be like we have a really good lineup, like 1 through 9 we can all really hit. We can put a ball in play anywhere, any situation, and yeah.
It seems like as the season has wore on, the defense has gotten better too.
Yes, 100%. And I think that really has to do with like confidence and like experience in the game. Like you said, like our team is really young, so a lot of them haven't had like the experience that me and the other seniors have had. So
how close are you to the other 3 seniors here tonight?
I grew up with 2 of them, Maddie and Adrian, but this season me and Peyton have gotten really close, and just I think all 4 of us have like got a really good bond going together. So
we have a ton of folks watching us here tonight. I know you're nervous, I can tell.
Yeah.
But do me a favor and look in that camera there. For those that are listening on the radio and watching us, what do you want to say to the folks who have supported you, not just this season, but your entire high school career?
I really appreciate it. It's what's made me become the athlete that I am, like the support. I love it so much. So thank you, everybody.
We're going to let you pick who is our next senior that we're going to be interviewing here tonight. Who would you want to pick?
Peyton.
Let's get Peyton over here, and thank you again for coming out tonight. We appreciate it. So we'll get Peyton over here, and we'll bring her on in just a moment. And keep those comments coming. The girls will love to go back and watch this. And, Coach, it's a great night to see these kids come out, and they really support each other, and they're having a ball.
It is. It's good for them, and a lot of them kind of shy and stuff.
Peyton looks nervous. I can already tell you.
It's okay. They're resilient. They get thrown into situations and they just respond.
So talk about the next senior. Who we're going to be interviewing here tonight?
Peyton Willis, and I don't know a lot of these girls because of the gap just with teaching and things,
right.
And I didn't have some of them in class. But I coached Peyton two years ago. She played soccer, so I coached her, and so I know her from that. And so that's been good. And I kind of know her dad because growing up we were neighbors. So that's pretty cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Peyton, welcome alongside, and let's talk about you specifically. How has this season gone for you so far this softball year?
I think this has been my most fun softball year because the other three I was really shy. I didn't talk to anyone very much, especially my junior year. It was kind of really scary because my best friend Elizabeth Fredwell didn't play that year, so it was like I didn't really have anyone to talk to. But I feel like this year I've made a lot more friends, and I think that was been a good part.
So when the season first began, did you ever think that this team would get so close so soon?
I didn't think about it really. No, I didn't think because I've played with Maddie and Clara and Adrian for a long time, but I never Maddie. I've been friends with Maddie for a while, but Clara and Adrian I wasn't really close with. I didn't expect it, no, but I'm glad it happened.
So we're getting close now to. There's a few more games before we get to districts, right, Coach?
4 more.
So 4 more games. What do you want to see this team and maybe yourself improve on before we get to that district series coming up?
I think we need to play as a team more together and talk more definitely and help each other out and definitely lift each other up more because that's a big problem. I think, playing together as a team would help really well.
What I've seen since I've been coming to the games here this season a little bit is what I've noticed is you guys have a lot of fan support, whether it be family, whether it be friends. They seem like they're all in when it comes to our Lady Mules softball program. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like we've had a lot more support than the other years, and I think that's really great. It actually makes me really happy that.
Does it make you guys play better knowing that you guys have a lot of fans in the stands to watch you guys play?
I think me personally, it makes me want to impress them more. It makes me want to work harder to make sure they're proud.
And when you look out and you see the youngsters, and a lot of those girls look up to you guys, obviously, because you're where they're going to be eventually. What does that mean to you?
I think me especially because my little sister is also an underclassman. I want to make sure that I teach them good manners and making sure that they're always kind to everyone no matter what, and making sure they know how to play with their team even if maybe they don't like everybody on the team. And just helping them become less shy because I know a lot of the younger girls are going to be shy automatically. But, I was there too, so I want to make sure I can help them come out of their shell more.
And one last question for you. You can look in that camera there. For those that are watching this, what's your message to the fans watching back around Poplar Bluff as you guys prepare to get ready for districts coming up in mid-October?
Thank you, everyone, for supporting us and helping us through this season. And I'm just really proud that we have such a big fan base.
Absolutely. You're not going anywhere just yet, Coach. You want to add to that?
And, Frankie, I want to tell you about her. Peyton, and we've said this and we've talked about it, she's usually, as far as with Adrian on talking, she's the most encouraging player probably out there.
I can tell.
And if there's anything to do, she goes and does it. And she exemplifies humility, in which is a great characteristic as a teammate. And I can't say enough. And she doesn't realize how much she's teaching these younger kids right now, as far as what it means to be a teammate. And so. That's the part when you asked, what do you enjoy about this? It's watching, things like that encourage other people, and it shows other people on the team that this is how you lead. She's just, it's being a servant leader, And that's what she is, and we're just thankful that we have her.
And I'm so glad you agreed to come on with us and talk to us here on your senior season and our first Coach's Corner. Thank you again, Peyton.
Thank
and
you.
You're doing a great job, and keep up the hard work.
Thank you.
So who's going to come up next?
Adrian Casey. Oh,
No,
sorry.
no.
Maddie Hefner.
So we'll bring
Otherwise-
Maddie over here. We almost had Adrian a
You're
second
good.
time.
You're
We
good.
almost did. That was Peyton Willis joining us here tonight. And, Coach, they're a good group of seniors. I can tell
They
that
are.
by the way they talk to each other.
They are, and that's the thing. That's you walk into this spot, and we had so many missing components, like as far as who's going to play where, and they've just stepped up. It's like with her, we go out, we're in practice. I don't even know if it was like day 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, girls, we don't really have a catcher. Like, who's going to catch? Man's like, I want to try. I want to do it. I mean, you know what I mean?
Well, real quick, introduce who we're talking to here.
So Madeline Hefner, and that's what she says. I want to go out here and I want to catch, and so then here we go. So we have a catcher now, and it's just like stuff like that. Well, then later on throughout the year, it's like, okay, we need to change some things up. Maddie, can you play anywhere else? And she's, of course, we had already discussed it, but
Right.
I wanted to reassure and ask her, like, are you okay with playing anywhere else on the field? I'll just do whatever you need me to do. I don't care. Whatever we need to do for the team. So, and that's like the thing about them. These four, like, they pick up the equipment. They put stuff up. They take care of this. They take care of that. They take care of the younger kids. You just can't. That's hard to find. Especially hard to find in 4 out of 4 seniors. Like, that just doesn't automatically happen. And especially when, you know, they've been through different types of leadership.
Right.
And so, again, that you asked what was enjoyable about it, and it's them exemplifying this leadership and this servant-type leadership.
Well, Madeline, welcome alongside here this evening. Let's talk about your senior season and what do you like so far? What is some of your favorite things about this softball team and this softball season in general?
Well, a lot of things that I like is how a lot of the girls get along really, really well. And we all have fun in the dugout, and you'll never not have a good day with them. And then we'll always be laughing and cutting up, and sometimes we'll get a little bit in trouble because we're not focusing on the game and stuff. But we're always there to have fun with people, and we're always there to have a good time, so it's really nice.
So talk about the community aspect when they come out to watch you girls play at a home game, maybe on a Saturday when we have 4 games when it's hot outside. No offense, Coach. Make us play in the heat. What's it like seeing the fan base show up and really support this team?
It's really nice seeing people because I know a lot of people don't find interest in girls' sports. So to have people show up and to show their support for our team, it's really nice because it's just not something you normally see. And it makes you feel loved by your community, even whenever we might not be the most winning team or the best team to come and watch.
So let me ask you from the standpoint of when you first started this season, you decided that you were going to go out there and catch. And then you kind of moved around a little bit to find your spot. What's it been like to adjust to everywhere you needed to go this season to make the team better?
It's really difficult because I get very nervous because I don't want to let the team down in general. So I just try my best. And really, there's nowhere that I haven't played before on some form of travel team. But catching was like most difficult because I haven't done that in so long. And having to catch a ball while someone's swinging the bat at you, also the ball's coming in really quickly. It was very difficult to learn. But once I figured it out, I got very like comfortable. And then whenever I moved to outfield, it just like after repetition, it helps like get more comfortable with it.
Let me ask you, I didn't get a chance to ask the other 3 seniors, but let me ask you, what's it like playing at the facilities at Poplar Bluff? I can only imagine when you go somewhere that our facilities are probably so much better than everybody else's.
They are very nice. One thing that's kind of difficult is so we have a fake fence because we play on a baseball field. So therefore the turf and the grass separate very far from each other because it's a baseball field.
Right.
So it's like different from playing on a dirt softball field as well. So I know when people come, they're not used to it. And our Sykeston game, their coach actually came to our dugout because their players can't wear metal cleats on our field.
Right.
And you can only wear turfs or tennis shoes. So they were like, it's difficult coming to our field. But I like it because it's consistent. The bounces are going to be the same. Everything's going to happen the same way until you get to the outfield where the lip happens.
So tell me, as you guys, here we are the last week of September. I've asked the other 3 seniors this. Give me some strengths you guys are working on that you're proud of, and also some key areas you're working on as you guys get ready for districts coming up in early October.
I think some of our weaknesses are we try to play as a team, but whenever you're always switching up positions, it's kind of hard to get comfortable with each other. So whenever Liz pitches, it's very easy for me and Kennedy to play up the middle because we played up the middle last year together. So we know where each other works best, and we can flip to each other for a second out or a third out. And I think it's just getting comfortable with the people and knowing they're going to make the plays behind you is one of our biggest weaknesses, is because sometimes at the beginning of the season we weren't very consistent about that, and it helps to know that people are going to have your back behind you. But I think one of our strengths is always picking each other up. We're never going to let someone be down in the dugout or let someone be upset if they struck out or grounded out in a big key moment. We're always going to let them know that it's okay, and we've all been in that position.
You've got some fans right now watching us on Facebook and YouTube, so do me a favor, look in that camera there Tim's got pointed at you, and just talk to the community and what it means to you personally that you're here on the senior week. You guys had senior night a couple of nights ago, or last night rather, and talk about just what it means to you, to the community, that they're behind you 100%.
I just want to thank them for everything that they've done. I know we've had a rough go of it coming into this season with everything going on, and it really means a lot to show their support. We play tomorrow if everybody wants to come out and watch us play Notre Dame.
It'd be a good game too. So we'll send everybody out there to watch you guys play.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on, Madeline. We really appreciate it. And, Coach, once again, great senior class here. We're so glad you guys were able to share them with us and let our audience kind of get to meet them a little bit. And we wish them the best of luck coming up the rest of this season.
Frankie, we greatly appreciate it. And we just want to thank Derek Rollman and
yes,
for what he's done. And we want to thank the Booster Club for all the things that they've done for these girls this year to help make this a great experience. And anyone else that I right now can't even think of, but anybody else who's put their hand in this and helped with all of this, all the parents, grandparents, and relatives of these girls who've sacrificed a lot of time and effort for them. We're just grateful for them and thankful. We just want to thank the community and thank you guys.
You bet.
And for doing this for these kids.
Oh, one more question. The most important question of the night, Madeline. He's copying off of me. Who's got the better beard, me or him? Go ahead. I know he's your coach. I understand that he can make you run, but what do you think? Who's got the better beard?
I probably have to say Frankie.
Oh,
well,
I like that.
It's all cleaned up.
It's not gray either.
I
no
don't
offense.
sleep.
No offense. You don't sleep. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Seriously, Coach, thank you so much.
Thanks.
We look forward to a great rest of your season, my friend.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
You betcha. Coach Aaron Duncan joining us live here this evening as we continue with our Coach's Corner. And we're going to, I believe, have Kent Keith come over here now. We'll let him walk over here and get him on set with us. He's giving me that deer in the headlights look, like he doesn't know if he should come on or not. We've got a few things to talk about. Kent, get over here, my friend. Tell you what, Kent, join us over here, my friend. And, it's the first time that I've got a chance to have you on camera with us here. And one thing I want to say, what was that?
Very scary.
Very
isn't it?
scary. I want to.
There's
one thing that we got to talk about here, and we talk about the Booster Club and how much they do for the programs. But I got to tell you, this guy here to my left, you do an awful lot for our programs, Coach. And people don't even understand how much you work hard for these programs.
I appreciate it very much. And, the reason I do what I do is for the kids. I had a good experience athletically growing up and just kind of want to give back to the kids. And obviously I'm not married. And so I put everything I've got into what I do, and kind of looking at the weekends, last Thursday was awesome getting that football win. And then really the most awesome part about it, I had Friday night off, and I met my mom in Branson and got to eat dinner with her. And then we went to a show, Shepherd of the Hills, Saturday night, which she'd been wanting to see for a long time, and just kind of got a chance to get away. And then I got back Sunday and about 4 o'clock went in the office and stayed for about 4 hours to kind of try and get ready for the week. So
let me ask you, people on Facebook all night long, they are just so supportive of this softball team. You heard the kids. they're just excited to be able to have a chance to play for a good school like Poplar Bluff.
Absolutely. And, one of the things we're most proud of is our facilities. And UPA'd for us a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday, and just got a couple of schools to come over here that normally wouldn't come over this far, and the way the Booster Club treated them, the way our community treated them, I mean, that means a lot. And our girls really appreciated what everybody did for them, but it was really neat to see people come from the outside and see what we had to offer. And, you and I talk all the time about districts and not being able to host and whatever. Well, I think all these things that we're doing at some point is going to pay off, and people are going to realize we need to be able to host some of the things.
Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. You'll correct me if I'm wrong. Is one of the easiest parts of your job, Coach, to schedule home games?
Man, looking at the boys' basketball schedule today, I have a new administrative assistant, Lori Ferris, and she got it submitted to Randy Winston for the officials and so forth. And just going back and looking at that thing today, and I mean, I feel for our guys, I feel for our girls about being on the road. Right now, we've only got 6 home games for boys' basketball.
And that's not including the showdown, right?
No, that's not including the showdown, which is kind of a nice bonus for us. And I will tell you, last time we talked about the showdown at being full. I'm still getting calls, and I know a friend of yours, John Anderson, that's a coach at Memphis Central, called me today and said, Coach, do you have any cancellations? Do you have a room? And I said, we're full this year. We filled up early, and it's going to be a good tournament, but we will put you on the list to possibly call, and get back next year. They've been here a bunch, and it's kind of nice to get some new blood in. First Midwest wanted me to look at some specific teams. We were able to get a couple of those and got some new blood in also. So it's going to be a different tournament from what people have seen in the past. And, we always talk every year it's going to be our best. And I think right now on paper it's probably some of the strongest competition we brought in.
I wanted to bring you on because I do want to talk to people about Friday night, how big of a game Friday night really is, and not just because of who we're playing, but it's also our pink out night, it's also senior night, and we want everyone to come out and support the Poplar Bluff Mules football team and have a great time during the tailgate party, which, by the way, the Booster Club, they're going to be cooking. We're going to have a huge pink out ceremony with Poplar Bluff Regional. It's really a great night all the way around.
It is, and one of the things that we rarely talk about, and with Misha, it is under me, is our the Show Me Marching Band. It's senior night for them too, and again, I have a new administrative assistant. One of her duties is she sends out a questionnaire for the kids to put their stats, who's escorting them, the highlights of their career and so forth. And she may be regretting taking that job on now. But we've got 31 seniors in our marching band that we're going to celebrate, on Friday night. And that to me is incredible. And that's a credit to Mr. Winters and what he's done, and the growth of our band, and really the resiliency of the kids. They don't get a lot of notoriety, so it will be neat to recognize them on Friday night along with our football players, and then we will recognize the cheerleaders and the Pom Squad later on in basketball season.
By the way, I haven't talked to Tim just yet about this. Senior night starts at 6:10. Are you going to be okay with us streaming all of our seniors, including
you
band?
Guys did that last year, and I think it was very popular. Parents get down there and take pictures and so forth, but a lot of family members can't be there, so I think it's really neat that people that can't show get to experience there and celebrate with the young people.
I know that tonight it's about the seniors and about the individual programs, but I did want to bring you on because a lot of folks don't know just how hard you work for these programs, and I can't imagine what your schedule is like because you never have any off time. But, Coach, we're grateful that you give up so much for these kids, and I know they appreciate it as well.
I appreciate it. We've got a great group of young people. This is a tremendous area to live in Missouri, and I still feel like we're a hidden secret. And like we talked about before, getting those teams in for softball, if we can keep getting word out and get people down here and let them experience what we have to offer, it's going to help us all in the long run.
You bet you will, Coach. Thank you so much for the opportunity,
Appreciate
and we look
it.
forward to seeing you Friday night before the kickoff during our tailgate party, pink out night. Going to be a great night coming up on Friday.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Frankie.
You bet you. Mules Athletic Director Kent Keith joining us live. We're going to go to break here on the radio side of things. We're going to go to a quick timeout. Matter of fact, on the radio side, we will take about a 3-minute timeout. We'll come right back, and we're going to be talking with our football program. We'll have head coach Dave Sievers and players as we continue. It is our Coach's Corner. We are live at Bushwoods in Poplar Bluff. You're listening to Poplar Bluff Mules Athletics here on today's Talk, 93.3 FM, 930 AM, KWOC. On the radio side of things and on the video, we'll be back in about 3 minutes. Your news time, it is 6:55. Welcome back now to Bushwoods in Poplar Bluff. I'm Frankie Castillo. Glad to have you alongside here on today's Talk, 93.3 FM, 930 AM, KWOC. We're also streaming live on Facebook and our YouTube channel. Make sure and share this video feed. Most importantly, let's tell these kiddos how much we appreciate them for stopping by tonight. And they'll go back and watch this video, so give them their words of encouragement. Joining us now live here at Bushwoods, part owner Ted Lejeski. And Ted, so glad that you were able to let us be out here tonight. And what a great atmosphere as we are having our first ever Coach's Corner. And man, the seniors so far that we have talked to, they are just amazing individuals, and they were so happy to be here as well.
You know, we're pretty lucky in this town. We have a lot of really, really good kids that are trying to do the best they can. And it's really fun with athletics, especially just to watch these kids grow and become something better than what they thought they could be, and in some cases outperform their expectations. I mean, it's really neat. Last weekend, seeing what we did to Sykeston, that was a lot of fun.
It really was. You got me on that one. Give us that real quick. Put your coach's cap on again. And we took on Jackson a couple of weeks ago. What was your answer when I asked you how the Mules would do against Jackson?
Well, I believe this. I told everyone that it was going to be a closer game than people thought. I thought it'd go 10 or 15 each way. And if memory serves me correct, I believe it was either 14-7 or 7-0 at half.
That's 14. You're close.
Yeah, and the kids were playing hard. Offensive line was getting a good push. Sometimes it's hard to play in a place where you're not used to winning. And that's something the coaches are trying to do, is they're trying to build an atmosphere where the kids can actually get accustomed to winning, as opposed to just trying to win.
Speaking of winning, right here at Bushwoods, what a winner we have here as people walk in. We're seeing folks still walk in. What a great atmosphere. And if they just want to come in to order some great food or have a great time, whether you're an adult, whether you're a kid like Tim, it doesn't matter. Everybody can have fun right here at Bushwoods.
Absolutely. We are incredibly lucky and blessed to have the community support we've had. A lot of folks come in here, just people from all walks of life. People that have never played golf, or people that have no desire to do that, or just folks that want to come in and sit down and have a bite. I mean, we're very lucky that people are coming, and it's not just Poplar Bluff, but regionally.
Absolutely. And before we get to our football program, you called it the other day when Pujols hit 700. Congratulations on that. How did that work out for you?
Well, I appreciate that.
I was serious. You did call it, did you not?
I did.
I thought so, yeah.
I thought it was going to happen in L.A. It only made sense. Albert, actually, whenever he went to L.A., it reinvigorated his career, and he had thought about quitting whenever he was cut from the Angels. So it was just kind of the perfect synergy for something like that to happen, and I'm proud to say this. We were the only place in town that had this game. So whoever was sitting at our place, they got to watch history.
I was going to say I heard that because you guys were able to pull the game up, and you guys are able to stream pretty much any game out there.
Anything out there we can do, whether it's the rodeo, whether it's college football, high school football. I mean, good Lord, we were streaming the Missouri-Rolla game the other day.
Not to mention, and I was told this, I've been talking about this every week, you guys even stream Mules football here on Friday nights.
We have.
And Thursday nights.
Our goal is to have every local sport playing. There is nothing more that I would love for a Friday night where people who can't go to the game, maybe they can't travel, maybe they have work the next day, they have obligations, they can come to our place, they can watch their kids, their nieces, nephews, their family members, or the friend next door. And that's what we want, because that's what this town needs. And Poplar Bluff, we're incredibly blessed because it's a great atmosphere, great community, a group of people that come together and help people. And it's a growing town that has a very small town feel.
I want that same deal. How come I can't come here and watch a Mules football game? Well, I'll send Tim next time. He'll do it by himself. He can do anything.
Well, you're too busy paying attention calling the game.
I wouldn't say too busy doing it, but I'm so glad you were able. Thank you again for letting us come out here and kick this thing off here tonight. It's been a great turnout so far, and we're going to be talking to the football team coming up. And if anybody has any questions when it comes to Bushwoods, send them where, my friend?
Oh, they're going to go to 950 South Westwood, or they can call us. Our number's on the website. It's bushwoodspb.com, and additionally, any person locally around town, you can follow our Facebook feed. So we are very, very easy to find.
Ted, thank you so much for the opportunity, my friend. We'll let you get back to work, and we'll get the football team in here now.
All right, go Mules.
You betcha. Ted joining us live here on the program. We're going to get Coach Dave Sievers to come over here now, and we'll welcome him into our program, and we'll let Coach Sievers get mic'd up in just a moment. You may have to go walk over there and get him. He may be ignoring me on purpose.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to quiz him about the veer cut block or anything like that. We're going to try and make it pretty easy on him.
Make it pretty easy, absolutely. And we'll see Coach Dave Sievers walk over here. There he goes. Now I got his attention. I think he was trying to avoid us, don't you think?
I think he was trying to take an end around.
I think he was trying to get out of here pretty quick. So we'll let Ted get back to what he was doing, and we'll welcome in Coach Dave Sievers coming in here now as he walks in here to the set. We'll get Coach Sievers on, and we'll talk a little bit about football coming up here. Big football game on Friday of this week. We're going to recap the game on Thursday of this past week. We'll let Coach Dave Sievers get in here. He's got his Mules hat on and everything. If I'm correct, did you get through mowing the grass here today, or was there football practice first?
We had practice today.
We had practice first. Okay, so we'll do the grass tomorrow then, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about football. First off, Mules get a big win this past Thursday night in Sykeston. Mules defense, man, what a season they have had thus far. Talk about the win on Thursday, and what's it mean to the team?
Well, the season definitely hadn't started the way we expected it to. We knew that we'd have a little trouble finding our identity on offense, but I think we finally got that figured out. And defense has played well enough this year that we should be, we should possibly be undefeated. Defense. I mean, we've just played outstanding on the defensive side of the ball, and that's a credit to the defensive staff and the kids we've got playing. But we just haven't until last week. We just hadn't found an identity yet, and we were able to run the ball and play pitch and catch, and that's something that we had not done, consistently. We've had big drives in every game, and they come up short, and it's either the line blocking wrong, or the back's going the wrong way, or we drop a ball, run a wrong route. So it's just a matter of getting all the kids going in the same direction, and hopefully we've got that figured out.
After last Thursday, what has the confidence been like this week at practice? Because coming up on Friday, I've been saying this all week long so far, that it's a big game on Friday. If we win, I think we're in a great position to not only maybe have a better outlook on the rest of our season, but maybe even host a playoff game coming up in Week 10. And you, of all people, you understand the numbers better when it comes to the district breakdown. Is it possible a win on Friday puts us in the driver's seat to host a playoff game in Week 10?
Yeah, because the way the district works, if we beat Fox right now, I think they're a spot ahead of us in the standings. But if we beat them, it doesn't matter what the points are. If we wind up, back to back in the final standings, then we jump them, and that would put us in the top three, I guess. But obviously we've got to take care of business the rest of the way, because we got to be within one spot of them. So if we're flat the rest of the season, don't get the job done, then it's not going to make a whole lot of difference. But as long as we take care of business, we've got we got Fox coming up, and the last time we played them, I believe, was up there in a playoff game. I think it's as cold as I've ever been. I think it might be the only game I've ever worn gloves. I was a wuss that night, but
I'm sorry, you were a what again?
I was a little soft that night.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
so. As cold as I think I've ever been coaching a game. I'm not as tough as I used to be. Used to laugh at the cold, but not anymore. I guess that's what happens when you get old.
There you go.
If we take care of business Friday night, that'll really help our standings in the district. And with the start we've had, we're going to have to obviously get some help. The teams that are ahead of us are going to have to struggle a little bit. But, as long as you end up in the top half, then we'll get to host.
First three games, Coach, our run game was pretty much non-existent. The last two games, it's really picked up. Talk about Mikhail McFarland a little bit and how much of a spark he has been to this football team, getting the run game to open up, which also opens up our pass game. We saw that last week as well.
Well, Mikhail, he's a great athlete. Comes from a great family, and he was number probably 3 on the charts. We lost our top 2 kids, and Mikhail has been on he's been starting on defense all year long, and kind of out of necessity, we brought him over. He's been a running back, all year, but like I said, he was more of a defensive kid early. But Atari and Amari both went down early, and that obviously didn't help. But Mikhail stepped in really, really well. Some of the stuff that we're wanting to do in the run game, he's really, really good at. He's a real elusive kid, and he's got some speed. He's had. I guess he had 100 yards, in the Jackson game, and he probably had, if we had longer fields last week, he probably would have had, we got some short fields.
He come close last week again.
He did, and I think and if we would have. If we would have left the kids in for the fourth quarter, I'm sure he would have got the 100 yards. But we got a pretty comfortable lead there, and we just decided to let some of the young kids play. But Mikhail stepped in and done a really good job. And like you said, one of the biggest things is Mason and Jay are getting a little bit more comfortable, and we're not getting. We're able to play pitch and catch a little bit more than we did the first couple weeks, and so we're getting more of a balance.
Let me ask you, taking out the starters last week, putting in younger kids, that was the first time all season we were able to do that in a comfortable setting. What was that like to not only yourself but the offensive coordinator, Patillo? What was that like for all you coaches being able to sit back, kind of breathe a little bit, and let the young guys step up and play a really good ball game? Only gave up 2 points all ball game.
Yeah, and I
Here we
criticized the defensive guys. I said we had a shutout until you guys gave up that 2 points on the safety. No, we're just those games are nice. Everybody got to play. It's always a good thing when you can take your headphones off at the end of the game and just kind of relax. We were under control. I mean, Sykeston's got a good club, but they've got some injuries, and I think we were lucky that the Heckmeyer kid didn't play as much because he's a heck of an athlete, and it just. Those games are good, because you don't get those games very often, and when you do, you want to take advantage of them. And all the kids got to play, and I think everybody had a good time.
I thought last week, Coach, the play of the game was early in the first half. It was a 4th and 10 for the Mules, and Jaredon Young, wide open, gets a big gain, and that really allows our Mules offense to settle down. And Mason West, I thought he really come alive last week. Could we see that? First off, to me, that was a play of the night. What about you? Number 2, can that momentum carry over to this Friday? It is senior night. It is pink out night, and it's a big district opponent in the Fox Warriors.
Yeah, the Jaredon's play was a big play for us because, even though he didn't score, and I kind of gave him a hard time about it, I said it was nice of you to get caught down there so Mikhail could score, and he didn't appreciate that. But he's just such a great kid, and he's got a little bit of a hamstring issue right now. If he didn't have that, I think he runs away from everybody. But it was a big play for us because it got us an opportunity to score, and we haven't done that very much this year, and it's just I told the kids before the game, stop waiting around for somebody to make something happen. You guys got to go out and be the guy. Be the guy that makes something happen. And Jaredon stepped up and he made something happen. And even though we didn't get the score on that particular play, we were able to keep the drive going. And once we put it in, it just we just kind of got on a roll.
72 tackles so far this season by Logan Height. Our defense is just, I think, one of the best defenses I have seen in quite some time. What about you?
We're real blessed to have those kids and the way they run around. We're going to get tested this weekend, because Fox runs the option, and that's something that we've not had a lot of success stopping the last few years. But we got a little bit more size we can put on the field, and I think we're going to be able to clog some stuff up and just let the kids like Logan and those guys that run around and make tackles run around and make tackles. And like I said, our defense has played well enough that we should probably be undefeated if we especially the first 3 or 4 weeks, if we had if we had any offensive support whatsoever the first couple of weeks, I think we're looking at a much different record. But once again, it's just a matter of putting all the pieces together and finding some consistency.
So do we have any more coaches that we want to interview here tonight on your staff, or do we want to get right to the kids?
Well, I've got my coordinators here, so if you want to spend a second with them,
let's get them over here. By the way, I'm assuming on Friday we'll be able to do our live interview as normal, no questions asked.
As normal, as long as you don't bug me.
Last question for you. It is senior night coming up on Friday. I know senior night is a big deal for you. What's it? Tell the viewers here tonight, what does senior night mean to Coach Dave Sievers?
Well, it's always and it's happening early this year, so these kids got a lot of football to play. A lot of times senior night will be the last game of the season, but we're switching things up a little bit this year. Senior night's always bittersweet, because it's, you spend an awful lot of time with these kids. I spend more time, well, especially now that my kids are gone, but even when my kids were home, I spend more time with these, lunkheads than I do with my own kids, and it's just it's always hard to see him go, but this is my 35th senior night that I've been a part of, and it never
gets easier, does it, Coach?
It doesn't. You just walk through the line and thank all of the parents and the kids for what they've provided for the program, and it's always a special night.
It's funny how you talk about the seniors the way you do, because, typically whenever I see you, whether it's at the stadium or at the radio station, it's always, get out of my way, you're bothering me.
Yeah, pretty much, yes. Just pretty much, yes.
Coach, you do a great job for the program. Thank you for the time. And,
Thanks,
bring over the coordinator.
All right, I'll send him over.
So, we're going to have coming up in just a moment Jeff Mannon. Also joining us is John David Patillo. We'll get both of them on before we talk to some of the players. And we're so fortunate to have our coaching staff for the Mules football team with us. And coming up in just a moment, we're going to welcome in the defensive coordinator. We're going to have Jeff Mannon join us and talk about this amazing defense here so far from what we have seen this season. Coach Mannon, thank you for joining us as the defensive coordinator. Talk about how impressed you are with this defense, and I believe that our defense can hang with pretty much any offense in this state.
Yeah, well, main thing on defense, we keep it as simple as we can, let the kids try to react. I try to take all the thinking out of it, so the first, 2 to 3 seconds every play, they can just react and be athletes. A big theory we've gone through the last couple of years is we're going to coach them the first 3 steps, and then they get to play football after that. And it's really starting to show in this group of kids that we've had is they've been in the system for 3 or 4 years. We're running the stuff down in junior high now, and it's making it pretty easy on the kids, and terminology's flowing pretty smooth. So
3 out of 5 games this season, your defense has held opponents under 20 points. It seems like for them, they just get stronger as the game wears on. What do you think?
Yep. A lot of that's just the competitive drive that these kids have. It's a really good group of seniors. They do a good job of, helping each other out, and they turn everything competitive. They'll be talking about tackles and mid-game and things like that, and it just helps promote that competitive environment in the team, and it just keeps them driving and slugging throughout the game, and they got a lot of pride. So, when things start getting rough or things like that, they're going to fire back a lot harder, and it's worked out pretty well this year.
So what are some leaders on the defensive end for your squad?
I'd say the linebackers are pretty much leaders right now. You got Logan Davis, Logan Height, Ben Claw, Kaiser, Dane Dugas has done pretty good, and then we got some D linemen that are pretty decent. We got Nathan Bunton, who's here tonight, Cason King, and a few other kids that are pretty consistent for us.
So coming up on Friday, Dominique Murray, he's going to run the football. He is averaging nearly 5 yards a carry. Kevin Gwynn averaging about 8 yards a carry. Oh, by the way, they're averaging 7 yards as a team when it comes to the run game. 12 touchdowns.
Yep.
They don't pass much, so that means your defense is going to be out there a lot coming up on Friday. Biggest question that I've got for you, are they ready for this task against Fox on Friday?
Well, we'll find out. The hard thing with these kind of teams is you can't get a look in practice. So it's real hard for our scout team to do it because we run a completely different offense, and their offense is majority hide the ball and give it to whoever they can find do it. So, like practice today, during one of our segments, we took away the ball so the kids knew who they had responsibility-wise. And I think as long as we can stop the initial surge from the line, I think we're going to be okay. So as long as we can hold our own up front, I think it's going to be a pretty decent game.
I know the answer is 0, but realistically, what do you want to see your defense hold Fox to coming up this Friday?
We tell them every week, and it's one of our team goals, keep them under 14. We feel that if we hold the team to 14 points, we have a chance to win every ball game. So that's one of our team goals to keep the kids at. And, we started doing horseshoe stickers this year, and if we hold them under 14 points for the game, the whole team gets a sticker. So that's helped out too.
So let me ask you, we're going to have an extra day to practice coming up this week, coming off the short week last week. Mm-hmm. Is that going to help the defense get ready?
Yeah, we got a lot of kids kind of nicked and banged up right now, and let's give them the chance to kind of rest and get their legs back underneath them. And I think it's going to help out. And with this more physical football team, it's really needed right now. So,
Coach, anything else you want to add to our production as far as Friday goes?
Nothing I can think of, man. Thanks for having me.
You want to bring the offensive coordinator in?
Yep.
All right, you bet you are. Defensive coordinator Jeff Manning joining us here tonight live from Bushwoods in Poplar Bluff. We're going to turn it over to the offensive coordinator. We're going to welcome in John David Patillo, and we've had numerous conversations all season long. Coach Patillo and I, he has helped me pick our players of the game each and every week, with the exception of this past Thursday night. Thanks, Coach, for letting me forget.
Did I let you?
We did. We
talked about Alcorn.
We talked about. I was just kidding with you. Yeah. Talk about this past Thursday. We talked about it a little bit after the ball game, before they turned the lights out on us, obviously. It was a great offensive battle for the Mules. They needed this ball game. Going in, we scored 2 offensive touchdowns all season. We pick up 5 on Thursday night. It's pretty impressive for this football team.
Well, it was people have a tendency to forget we played 4 really good defensive teams first week. We had never settled our quarterback decision, and we've gone through our depth chart on offense. So we've been growing as a group, and but this week did show what our kids can do, what we're capable of doing. I thought the kids executed very well. We've had good practices. The one thing I'm really proud of is the fact that this bunch of kids has not given up. We lost a few games early, and they didn't quit on us. They keep battling, and we had a great practice today. So I was really excited about today and how we practice. So I think it's going to be a carryover.
Same thing I asked Coach Sievers earlier. The last couple of games, our run game has really opened up. Mikael McFarland getting his legs underneath him now, and it really kind of opens up our playbook, does it not?
It does. And when you doesn't matter how we do it, we have to attack whatever the defense is going to give us. We threw the ball early. It opened up the middle of the field, and Mikael did a great job. Our line did a great job, and he's very capable of having some really big games for us, and had some big runs, and so it all kind of works together. But he was playing such good. He was playing so well on the defensive side of the ball that we kind of had him down the line as far as a running back, but he's always been very capable, and he's just doing a great job.
Here coming up on Friday, are we going to see, from the offensive standpoint, do you think we're going to see more of a run offense from your Mules, or maybe we're going to see a mix of both run and pass?
Well, it's going to be a good mix, I think. Again, we'll have to soften up the defense with the pass. We'll have to attack when they're going to try to take our pass game away. When they load the box, then we'll have to throw the ball. So, but I feel good about the fact that we're much more balanced right now than we've been. Early, we really talked about trying to be a power running team, trying to be more of an inside running team, and it just has to all work together.
I think last week we saw Mason grow up a lot last week, and so far this season, Coach, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them last week alone. That, I think, is going to carry over the rest of this season. What do you think?
Oh, I do, and feel real comfortable with Mason. He's doing a good job. He's about where when we had Cannon starting as a sophomore. Maybe his early junior year. This is about where Mason is on the learning curve. So every time we get out there, we get a chance to get a little bit better. He gets more experience, gets more comfortable. We're blocking better as a team. The guys up front are doing a good job. So, and I really think this week, I think that's going to be the key. I think we're going to do a good job blocking up front, and it's going to give him the ability to have some time to throw, and then we've got a chance to pick them apart in the run game.
So I know the defensive coordinator said that the defense wants to hold the offense of Fox to under 14. On the offensive side of things, how many points do we want to score, keep the ball game in our favor?
Well, I want to score 60.
Okay. I like that enthusiasm.
Hey, you're an offensive guy. That's what you think.
That's right. Absolutely. And I like our chances coming up on Friday. And for the first time in a long time, our team, they've been battling all season, but it's like our confidence now since that Jackson game is starting to intensify week in and week out.
Right. Well, you could tell that we could compete with Jackson. The kids felt and know that. And like I said, the more experience we've had since then, we've grown and gotten better. But we're very capable of scoring in the 30s against this team, and we need to, and that's what we should shoot for.
Well, Coach, I'm so glad you were able to come on with us, and let's talk about some of the kids that we have here tonight and who's going to speak to us.
Oh, well, I don't know. I didn't look and see who they all are.
So we'll get Coach Sievers back over here, and we'll give him a headset, and we'll let him sit in with us, and we'll kind of rotate the kids in and out. What do you think?
Well, we've got mostly seniors, and we do have Mason over here who's a junior. So we've got a good mix of our guys.
All right, so we'll start getting to our players. Thank you so much, Coach, for joining us here tonight.
All right.
You bet. The offensive coordinator, John David Patillo. We'll get Coach Sievers back over here as well. Get over here, Coach. You're not done yet. Your time isn't done. You get the kids too, absolutely. But see, when I interview the kids, I want to have the head coach right beside me. That way, if I ask something silly, you can always just pat me on the back and tell me not to. Sit down, Coach. It's okay. Put the headset back on. I got to get you back over here. Get you some more airtime. We don't get enough airtime during the week anyway. There you go.
Well, don't the kids need these?
They're going to have this mic so we can talk back and forth to them.
Okay.
So who's going to come over first?
Mikhail.
Come on, Mikhail. Get over here, my friend. We'll hold this. We'll let Mikhail McFarland hold this. All right, Mikhail, and welcome to our program. And let's talk about you the last couple of weeks. The run game for you has really opened up everything for the Mules here offensively. What's it like, and how have you been able to, manage the offense here so far the last couple of weeks?
Just getting comfortable playing under my linemen. They're doing a really good job of blocking for me. I'm able to see the defense and play my foot and go, make a move.
Attaboy.
Couple of weeks ago, you're over 100 yards. Last week, got very close. What do you think you'll end up with coming up this Friday against Fox?
I think if we come out and execute, I should have good yardage like I've been doing the past couple games.
Good answer.
I think, honestly, that the offensive line is starting to create a lot of space for you in the backfield. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And talk about this team as far as starting 1-4 this season. It seems like it's all starting to kind of click together, and you guys are getting a lot closer every week. Is that right?
Yes. I feel like we're just getting comfortable playing with each other. We're coming together as a team, and we know what we got to do. Just come out, execute, play football, and hopefully get a win.
Friday night, it is senior night. What does that represent to you, Mikhail?
It represents a lot of things. It mainly represents my dad, because he's not here right now. So go out, play for him, and just do my best.
And for the community going to come out Friday night to watch you guys play, what's your message to the community? Most importantly, how many are we going to run by on Friday night?
I just want them to come, pack the house, show the support for us, and hopefully we can win for them.
All right. Coach, anything you want to add to this?
No, just fine young man. Like I said, great family, and he's just a pleasure to have around.
All right, Mikhail, thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you for
Mikhail McFarland, senior running back for Poplar Bluff here. And, Coach, who's next?
Looks like Nathan Button's coming up.
Nathan Button, one of our defensive guys. He is a phenomenal young man. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us. And let's talk about this team defensively. This team is so good defensively, getting better week in and week out. What are your thoughts?
It's really the process. We keep going to practice, keep trying hard. Really, it's not much. Our defense, we've been doing it for years. We know our skill, and we're just putting it all together to finish out the season, see what we can make it happen.
Coach Sievers has always been a defensive guy, so what's it like in practice with Coach Sievers when you guys do something wrong?
Well, when we do something wrong, we get scolded, but it's a good scolding. We deserve it.
I like this kid.
Is.
I like this. So talk about the first 4 weeks of the football season. And we didn't get the output we wanted, but the last 2 weeks, things have really started to get better since Jackson. Last week, by far our best game so far.
Yes, sir.
What has practice been like this week, and how much will that one extra day help you guys get ready for Fox?
Practice has been good. We've had slow areas. We've had areas where we haven't done our job, but we have our coaches there that get on to us, and we just bounce back, and that's really all we can do.
Senior night coming up on Friday. Same question I asked Mikhail. What does it represent to you, and not just to you, but to your family?
It represents a lot. I lost my grandma a couple of years ago, and she's always wanted to see me finish out high school and go to college playing football. So this senior night means a lot. It means something for me and my family. It really means something for her up there, and I'm doing it for her.
You know, I'm going to keep you right there. You hear something like that, Coach. I mean, you don't hear kids talk that way anymore, and here we've got a young man here that's really doing this for his grandma, and, you know, she's watching down on him right now.
Yeah, this is a sport that is there's lots of different motivations, and it's a sport that, everybody should be proud to play, and it's an honor to play this sport and everything, and everybody has their own motivations, and if you're playing for a loved one or playing, for the school or your family or whatever, it's just, everybody has their own motivations, and Nathan's doing a great job for us, and he spent the first part of the year playing offensive line for me, and just through the kind of the process of the evolution of the team so far this year, we've decided that a little bit more valuable if he's able to play a little bit more defense for us, and especially this week playing the option team, it's going to be important to have bigger bodies on the field.
So, Nathan, real quick, you can look in that camera, talk to your family, going to go back and watch this, and whatever message you want to send to the community about maybe the season in general, just their overall support, it's all up to you, my friend.
Any support is welcome. We love the support. We would love to have you at our senior night. Love you, Mom, Dad. I know you're watching, and I'm doing it for Grandma.
All right, Nathan, thank you so much, my friend. Have a great rest of your season. Coach, who are we going to bring over next?
Looks like Chris Matlock.
Chris Matlock. Boy, this kid's been just a monster defensively, offensively. Chris Matlock, let's turn things over to you. And I want to go back a couple of weeks ago against that Jackson football team. You just had no quit in you whatsoever. Talk about this season and how close you guys have become. Most importantly, how much better you guys have been since week one.
It basically just comes down to persistence and not giving up, not getting yourself down on the slow start. And once you get past those building blocks, you just keep going, get the job done.
So first things first, I think you can. I'm assuming you can bench press more than Coach Sievers here, right?
That's not saying much anymore, but yes.
So let's talk about this team as far as you're one of the vocal leaders on this team. When you guys started out 0-4, obviously you guys talked amongst yourselves, and you guys decided the real season starts in week 5. It did last week. What was the overall change against Sykeston? Most importantly, how was you guys able to come together, score offensively, and even be that much better on defense?
Yeah, basically just coming in with a chip on our shoulder. We wanted to win, and we were tired of losing, so we just came in, got the job done, played hard.
Have you guys put any extra emphasis on this upcoming week being senior night, taking on Fox, knowing that if you guys win, you guys will be in a really good position to possibly host a playoff game come week 10?
Yeah, we're just going to take it as any other regular season game. We're going to come out and play hard still, and we're just going to get the job done.
So last week, 2 catches, 106 yards. What was that like for you?
Felt like a Randy Moss stat, but
I like that, a Randy Moss stat.
I can't believe he knows who that is.
Wow, man.
It was fun. It was a fun game.
It seemed like the whole entire group was having a blast last Thursday night.
Yeah, Chris, he kind of tries to take credit for that first score. He told me after he scored, he said, I called that. I said, what? And he said, I told Mason, if we run, zone again and you pull it, he said, I'm going to be open. You throw me the ball. And sure enough, next thing I know, he's in the end zone. So he kind of took credit. He called that play.
All right. So what will it mean to you as a senior to look up next Friday, or this coming up Friday night, seeing the stadium filled up with fans coming out to support you guys on senior night and only 1 or 2 home games left in the regular season? What will that mean to you?
It means a lot. It just shows all the trials you went through to get to this point, being a senior, and it just going out there, making your family proud.
How much better can this football team get before week 9?
Oh, we're nowhere near.
Nowhere near, not even close. And you guys are putting in the work to get better, and that's what you guys want to do as seniors, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate you, and good luck coming up on Friday and the remainder of the football season.
Thank you.
You betcha. Chris Matlock joining us live from Bushwoods. It is our Coach's Corner. And, Coach, looks like you're having trouble directing traffic.
Logan Davis is coming up.
Logan Davis is coming up. And, Logan, let's talk about this football season. Defensively, there's no other defense I can think of that even matches our intensity. What do you think?
I would highly agree with that. I think that we're very aggressive and up front, just want to go after the ball. We like contact. We ultimately like stopping. I mean, there's no better feeling when there's a 4th down stop and then you just bring that offense back on the field. Sometimes we have to go back out and make another one, and we just get it done.
3 games out of 5, your defense has held the opponent under 20 points. I don't want to say it's come easy because it hasn't, but you guys make it look easy. Why is that?
Well, I think we have an outstanding defensive coach. He does a lot of studying, and we work and practice. All of our coaches, not just defensive, but we have an outstanding coaching staff that goes through the precautions of reading the teams every week, knowing what's coming, knowing what's going to happen. We got calls ready for everything, and sometimes those don't go as well as they could, but most of the time we try to make something out of nothing.
What's been your favorite game so far the first 5 weeks of this football season?
Well, I love the Jackson game. It was competition.
It was.
But I feel the most confident I've felt playing against Jackson in a long time.
Something tells me if we see them again, things will be a much different outcome.
If we can get things rolling on both sides of the ball, I would say that there could be a different outcome.
Let's talk about this coming up Friday night. How much did the extra day being off help you guys, or helping you guys prepare for Fox on Friday?
Well, I mean, you never can go wrong with an extra day of practice. I think our practices are going pretty solidly. We're cleaning stuff up, making stuff sharper, and we're ultimately working together a lot better as a team. And so I think that extra day will help us this week.
What's the game plan coming up for Friday to beat Fox at home on senior night?
Well, I'd say they're definitely a run-downhill team, and so we're going to stop that. And then offensively, we're going to run that ball up the middle, and we're going to throw it when we need to.
You know, we've asked a lot of players this same question. Senior night, what does it mean to you, Logan?
It means a lot to me. I played this game for a long time, and, you know, we've always looked up to this moment, and so I'm pretty excited for it. And, you know, we do this for our brother, and that's really probably why we're doing it this season.
Coach, you have anything to add to that?
No, just you know, this is, like I said, this is a good senior class. You know, obviously Logan's brother 2 years ago. You know, Trent was a linebacker for us, and once again another representative of another great family. You know, just the one thing I got to say about this bunch is that they are very resilient, because, you know, you get off to an 0-4 start, and you know, we could have lost them. You know, we could have lost the team, we could have lost the locker room, but you know, these seniors have kept things going, and I really think that they've probably become better leaders because of the start we had. You know, they've just kind of taken things under control, and couldn't be more proud of them.
Absolutely, Coach, and so glad you were able to bring him on and have a great ball game coming up on Friday. Best of luck to you, and hopefully we get the win, and we'll let Coach turn it over to the next player. Who's the next one, Coach?
Looks like Cason King.
Cason King. I've called his games numerous seasons for football and baseball, and we'll welcome in Cason King. For some reason, my daughter's calling me, and I have no idea why.
Well, do you need to take a call? We can I can sing or something.
Yeah, you can. No, we're okay.
Yeah,
Cason,
no, we don't want that.
Let's talk about the football season and where we started week 1 to where we are right now. How much better has this team gotten over the last 5 weeks in your eyes?
Oh, this team's gotten a lot better. In my opinion, one thing that came positive from this is our locker room. We never really backed down from anything, and we always kept it positive.
Defensively, you particular, we have seen you make play time and time again. It's almost as if you don't get tired during the course of a game because in the first quarter, you're just as agile as you would be in the fourth quarter.
Well, in practice, that's a big thing that we have is conditioning, but I'm definitely tired out there. I don't know if you can see it, but it gets tiring.
From up in the booth, we can't tell one way or the other. So let's talk about Fox coming up. More importantly, it is senior night. To you, is that more of a distraction, or is there any more extra pressure when it comes to the football game in general, being that you're a senior?
No, I think it's all really positive. I think it's just a great way to honor kind of the team and what we've gone through our football high school career.
So talk about Fox and how much emphasis has the senior group put on a win coming up on Friday, because knowing that if we win, we have a pretty good opportunity of maybe hosting a playoff game.
Well, it's a big deal because especially after a win, getting 2 in a row, that could really start things up and get it going for playoff time.
Coach, anything to add? It seems like the boys have the right attitude when it comes to playing this coming up Friday.
And like I said a minute ago, this bunch is they've kind of come together. We had some, to be honest, we had some issues early in the season and over the summer about getting these kids to step up and be the leaders that we needed. Because once again, just everybody kind of waiting for somebody else to get it done. And we don't have a bunch of big rah-rah vocal kids, but we kept on them and kept preaching at them, and this bunch is finally starting to come around and take control of the locker room and take control of the practices, and it's they're maturing as a group.
Cason, what is your message to the community that's going to come out Friday night and cheer you guys on to a big win over Fox on Friday?
Well, my message is thank you for coming out to the away games and the home games. It really means a lot. So,
Cason, thank you so much for joining us, my friend. We'll let Coach Sievers and let you get back to your friends there. And who's next?
Looks like Dane Dugas.
Dane Dugas is going to join us, number 82 for the Mules.
82. Used to be a lineman, but then he got a demotion, and now he's a wide receiver and linebacker.
There you go. So, Dane, welcome along to the program, and let's talk about this football season, and let's talk about more specifically how good this team has gotten over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
It really starts at practice in the weight room, putting 100% effort into everything, and then encouraging everybody. Not getting taken down whenever we have a loss, just keep building each other up. And I think it showed last week, and I think if we keep the momentum, we'll do some great things.
It seemed like this team was having a lot of fun last Thursday night.
I think everybody we just went out and played football, and we just had a great time, and it really showed.
Let's talk about Friday night. It's going to be a distraction, going to be emotional for the parents going to see the seniors, obviously. What are you doing to keep your mind right as we get ready for Friday against Fox? Big football game coming up that night.
I think everybody just needs to stay focused. Yes, senior night is a good thing. It shows what everyone has gone through their 4 years of high school. But I think if everyone just keeps their mind focused, we should have a great game.
So when this season is all said and done, before we get to the playoffs, where can this team be come week 10? Do you think that we could wind up and be right here at home?
Yeah, I think we played pretty good against Jackson. I feel like if we see them in the playoffs, we'll do some great things. And I think we could go pretty far in our playoff games.
I like the attitude, Coach. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and they've got that will to win. You got to be impressed by that.
Yeah, like I said, this going back to the the one shortcoming of this class was kids that just didn't want to step up, but they're really starting to take hold of the program, take hold of the locker room, and like I said, it's coming at a good time because like I said a minute ago, when you start 0-4, things could spiral out of control real quick. But this bunch has kept everything together, and I really think that they've gotten better. As far as being senior leaders. I think the way the season started, they've just kind of taken control, and we're hoping that, like he said, 2 in a row, and we just keep rolling.
For your parents watching this video, we're going to go back and watch it. For the community in general, what is your message to Poplar Bluff?
Come out and support us this Friday, and I think we can get a win if we have a good crowd there to support us.
All right, Dane, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck to you coming up on Friday. So now who's up next, Coach?
I think we have Josh Alcorn.
Josh Alcorn. We've said his name a lot this past week. He was involved in so many plays, and tell you what, welcome alongside Josh, and talk about this football team in general and how much fun you're having so far this season.
I feel like our team, this year we're a really great team. I feel like we have got a great amount of playmakers. Season, very fun, exciting. As soon as I get to go out there on Friday nights, feel very amped up, ready to go.
I feel like, Coach, most of these kids, if you're not nice to them, they can do some damage to you because they're a lot stronger than you are.
Well, but I still have the old man fear factor going on, and plus I can blow this whistle and make their life miserable.
Gotcha.
So they have to,
I got you. So let's talk.
They have to respect the whistle.
Let's talk about Sykeston. It seemed like you were involved in every play. Did you kind of know what direction they were going to go? Because every time we was up there calling it, it seemed like your number was involved in some way.
Not necessarily know the play. I was reading their offensive linemen, trying to get there. If I couldn't get there, try to fill the gap, help the linebackers make a play, and just try to help the defense as I could that game overall.
So are you guys obviously haven't been satisfied with the way things have went the last 4 weeks, but now we're starting to kind of get our feet underneath us. We're getting momentum. Is that going to carry over to Friday against Fox?
Yes, I think last Thursday, that was the game we needed to come back. I feel like we're just going to bulldoze this Friday and then keep it going.
Well, I like the attitude. Bulldoze coming up on Friday. Does that make you nervous to talk like that?
As long as they can back it up, no,
okay.
not at all,
okay.
not at all. I would rather them be. I'd rather them be confident than scared, But everybody always talks about locker room talk, but I mean, you don't expect the kids to come out and say, "Oh yeah, they're going to whoop our tails." We're confident, and I think rightfully so because we are getting better and we got a lot of fine young men working hard trying to get it done.
Josh, what's your message to the community who's going to come out on Friday night and watch you guys play and bring home that victory against Fox?
All I really got to say is, stand up, be proud. We're going to bring y'all a W. Clap, be excited for to see a lot of action.
That's what I'm talking about, Josh. Thank you so much, my friend. Good luck to you on Friday. Josh Alcorn joining us live, one of our juniors here on the football team at 6'1". And, Coach, who do we have now? Look at this big guy.
I think we're down to our last participant, Mr. Mason West.
All right, Mason. Was it
exactly?
Was it voluntarily, or was you told to be here? Let's just be honest.
I was told to be here.
I figured so, Coach. He wasn't. I knew he wasn't going to volunteer.
Well, you had him on the list.
I did have him on the list.
Yeah.
I did. I did have you on here.
If you don't want him, we can just end this right now.
I didn't think volunteering was an option.
There you go. So let's talk about this season, how mature-wise you have grown over the last 5 weeks. This past week against Sykeston, it seemed like you really got your maturity in, 175 yards of passing offense, 2 touchdown passes, 3 total for the game. Talk about that in general, and are you thinking that momentum could carry over to this Friday night?
I really think it could carry over. I mean, at the beginning of the year, it was still kind of new to me at this level, trying to keep up with the speed, but as we're going, got better every week, and it's really starting to show, I feel like, really showed against Sykeston.
I felt like last week the play of the game was 4th and 10. You found Jared and Young, who was able to get a big gain to keep the drive going. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would. We moved the ball a little bit, but then started to stall out, and that play really got us going, kept the energy up, and we were able to carry that through the whole game.
Offensively, we saw a good balance of offense and defense last week. Even though the defense still was out there nearly half an hour, the offense was able to have long, sustaining drives. When you're able to do that, does that make the confidence of your ability go up?
Yes, it does. It feels good to give the defense a break. They've been playing really well all year. So it feels good for the offense to kind of return the favor to him.
One of the leaders on this team, only a junior. They've got you listed at 6'5". I think you're more like 6'7", to be honest with you. Thanks a lot, Coach.
You're welcome.
Let me ask you from this standpoint: when you're out there and you're making sure that everything is going the way it needs to go for the first time all season, it's almost like we played mistake-free football. When we're able to do that, how much easier does the game become to you?
Right. It does make it a lot easier. We still have some mistakes, kind of like the on-the-field coach, but we're starting to figure it out. It's really starting to click now.
What do you want to see cleaned up before Friday as you guys take on Fox?
Some of the routes, honestly, we're still trying to learn them, and I hate to say that going in this far into the season, but there's always going to be something to clean up, always going to be something to work on.
They're going to run the football, obviously. They're known for running the football. How important will it be for your offense to have those long, sustaining drives to give the defense a break?
It'll be very important, honestly. This type of offense that they run, they'll be on the field for a while, drains the defense. It'll be good for the offense to go out there, take some time off the clock, give the defense a break so they're fresh and ready to go the next drive.
I don't want to say that you're playing 100% with no nerves, but it seems like the last couple of weeks maybe the nerves might be subsiding somewhat.
Right, they're starting to settle. I definitely got nervous towards the beginning of the season. Friday Night Lights, it's kind of big deal. So I'm really starting to settle in, though. It's getting fun, not as much worry anymore.
Coach, when he says something like that, when it's a lot more fun now than it was back in week one, the nerves are settling, I believe, not to give him a big head or anything, but with this team starting to feel that way, this makes us a dangerous team going forward.
It does, and I've said that from the beginning. If we just, like I said earlier, if we just, everybody needs to stop standing around waiting for somebody to do something and somebody be the guy, and once we get that going, I think we could be a really scary football team. Defensively, we're already there. Offensively, we just have to shoulder more of the responsibility. But Mason's done a good job, and all summer long we had 3 guys competing, and Jared's doing other things for us now. Playing defense, playing the offensive positions. And Jay comes in when we need him, but Mason's done a great job running the team. Scares the heck out of me because as a freshman he had a little bit of an incident at a home game. He broke his leg at our place.
I remember that.
I remember hearing it, and I was thinking, oh God, I hope that's plastic pads popping, but it wasn't. And so to come back from something like that and to play at the level that Mason's playing at, it's really impressive. It's a credit to him and his work ethic, and we're just hoping to keep getting better.
You'll be in these shoes next year as a senior, but for tonight as a junior, how big or what will it mean to you to get a win on Friday for this senior leadership on this team and make it 2 wins in a row?
I'd love to get a win for the seniors, have them go off with a bang. I mean, the year didn't start off too well, but we can still definitely finish it for them. I still got another year to play. Look forward to my senior night, but hopefully we can get a win for them. Hope they really enjoy it.
Look in that camera right there, Mason, and just talk to the community and how much you want to see them come out in full force on Friday night to watch this team pick up another win against the Fox Warriors.
Well, I really hope you guys can come out and support us, show love to all the seniors. Hopefully we can get a win for you guys on Friday.
All right, Mason, thank you so much for the opportunity. Go get them on Friday. We'll see you guys then. So, Coach Sievers, what a great group of kids. Thank you for bringing them here tonight to show up, whether it was mandatory, voluntary, it doesn't matter. We've enjoyed having all the kids on, and they're a great group of kids, and I can't wait for, even though the season is halfway over, I can't wait to see what the rest of this season holds.
Well, we appreciate Derek having us here tonight. This is an awesome facility, and hope everybody gets a chance to come out and visit us here at Bushwoods. But it's
he can bench press more than.
Oh yeah.
It's not even close.
Oh heck no. I tell the kids, hey, 30 years ago, but
I'm not even sure 30 years ago you could.
30 years ago, I could keep up with them, but not anymore.
I don't know.
Not anymore.
I tell you, Coach, it's going to be a great.
You
night
guys can flex
night.
all you want. I'm not impressed. So anyway, no, it's senior night is coming up, and it's a great night. There's this is one of the, as coaches, there's a lot of things that are kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. Senior night, not one of them. Homecoming and all those other things. Just, man, there's something to work through. But senior night's always special, and we're looking forward to it. And I think these guys are ready.
This is why we did this tonight instead of next week with it being homecoming. I don't want to be more of a distraction.
Well, that's you're usually pretty good at bothering me and distracting
Yes, I am. Any chance that I can get, you bet I will. So real quick, talk about this from a standpoint to the community, and just talk to the community and tell them how much you appreciate what they've done so far for you this football season, not just this season, but just through your entire career.
Well, we've had great crowds this season. It just we haven't given them a whole lot to cheer for, but we're turning that around. And we've always had good community support, and we've always had real good support from the school, and so it's just Friday night football, high school football. It's just a special thing to be a part of, and the school, the administration, the community, they always do a good job of supporting the kids and supporting the program, and there's movies made about Friday Night Lights.
That's right.
And the Boys of Fall. I'm not much of a country music fan, but I love that song. And now that we got the new scoreboard and new sound system, I'm hoping that we can play that a couple times during the game.
What was that, Derek? Oh, that song got lost, actually.
Okay,
it didn't make it to the cut.
Yeah, well, okay, fine then. I'll buy it then.
You'll buy it.
I'll go find
Coach, seriously, thank you for the opportunity, my friend, and we look forward to seeing you Friday night before senior night. Going to be a great night, and good luck to you on Friday. Go get the victory.
Thanks, appreciate you.
You betcha. Coach Dave Sievers, we're going to end with Derek here the way we started. Also a big shout-out once again to our Lady Mules softball program. Coach Aaron Duncan joining us. Also, Coach Kent Keith, our Mules athletic director. We've got 5 minutes left. You want to finish out with me here real quick, Derek? And we'll turn things over to Derek one more time here. Derek Rollman of Bushwoods and Poplar Bluff. We've got 5 minutes to go. What a great couple of hours, and I felt like we could have kept going one more hour.
That's what I was sitting up there watching. We've got it streaming in here too, so everybody.
It kind of threw me off a little bit hearing the echo.
We were trying to get the volume right so it wouldn't throw this off, but great atmosphere for people to sit in here and watch it on the TV there with the live stream. Thought it went great. I thought all the athletes did a great job.
They did a phenomenal
They were
job.
all scared to death, but they all ended up doing a great job.
What I like about this is we talked about what kind of fan support we would get. Well, we're knowing because we've had so many people tune in the entire 2 hours, comments coming in, and the benefit of this is people will go back and watch this, and for these seniors and these kids we got a chance to interview, they got a chance to talk to their family, talk to their friends, and what it means that this community is behind them.
Well, I've always been a big believer in the sports aspect. Teaches so much more than throwing a ball, catching a ball, hitting a ball. The discipline aspect and all that. And these kids are starting to get the respect. And you give them a platform like this, and they did such a great job that, I'm really proud of them. I thought they did excellent.
I got to tell you, I didn't realize that your daughter was going to be so nervous when I had a chance to interview her. I think she may have been the most nervous one of them all.
She, that's our bear. She's a very nervous person when it comes to this, but she just keeps smiling and just goes with the flow.
Absolutely. And once again, we got about 3 minutes here until we get to on the radio side of things to Fox News. For those of us watching us on Facebook and YouTube, we'll let you guys get back to your night. Real quick, scoreboard. It is installed. It is ready to go. And now is the time. If you're thinking about maybe being a sponsor on that scoreboard, now may be the time to get a hold of one of you guys and make it happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've talked to several people already. We're going to be selling 5 static signs on each side of the scoreboard. They're going to be about 4 foot tall, 4 foot wide. We're also going to have the digital content on the video board. So, yeah, please get a hold of us. Show your support for Poplar Bluff Athletics, and scoreboard looks great.
I will say, because he's right over here to my caddy corner here, it's not going to be the same not seeing Coach Kent Keith on that golf cart, stressing out before every home game, trying to get the old scoreboard to turn on.
Well, let's see here. The first time we tried to fire it up this year, we had about 10 bullet holes in the thing. So, I think we've pulled snakes out of it in the past and everything else. So we should be good for a while on this one.
Once again, thank you guys, and thank you to the Mules Booster Club, because you guys coming up on Friday, big tailgate party. You guys will be cooking out. It is our pink out night. Everybody in the community, I would encourage to come out, grab a hamburger, and let's cheer on the Mules in a big win.
Absolutely. The tailgates are a lot of fun for the Booster Club. I mean, we're a bunch of old fat guys that love to cook, so it works out great for us. We enjoy doing it. Gives back to the community and builds a good atmosphere around.
What most people don't understand is, I remember this a couple of weeks ago, Coach Ken Keith called me up and said, hey, can you do the PA for us for 4 softball games? And all you guys, Booster Club members, was there cooking all day for the players, the coaches, and made those teams from in St. Louis and Jackson, they felt so welcome to be in Poplar Bluff.
They were, and I was really impressed with every single one of those coaches and student athletes came up to all of us thanking us for it. It was our pleasure. It was a long day. As you know, you were there all day long as well. I think we were cooking for almost 10 hours a day. But everybody was thankful. It went off very, very well. And, that's what the Booster Club's for. We're here to do that for all sports. And, we want to get out and cook for some of the other teams and help support them.
You bet.
We've helped send some of the other schools to some, provided a travel bus for them to go to, a big away game. And we helped the cheer of the dance squad get some new shoes that they haven't had in a while. So, that's what we're here for, to provide things that they normally wouldn't have.
Well, Derek, thank you for the opportunity to come out here and take up your facility for the last 2 hours. It's been a blast, and I can't wait to do this again very soon.
Me too. I really appreciate it.
You betcha. Derek Rallman joining us live here at Bushwoods in Poplar Bluff. So that's it. That's a wrap on our very first Coach's Corner. Coming up on the radio side of things, we're going to get you back to Fox News at the top of the hour. For those of you watching us on Facebook and on YouTube, we'll have the game coming up on Friday night. It'll be the Mules taking on the Fox Warriors, a special start time. We'll begin our broadcast at 6 p.m. We're also going to be live streaming our senior night festivities. It is pink out night, big tailgate going on beforehand. Come out and support these Poplar Bluff Mules, and I will see you back on Friday night at 6 p.m. for the Mules and the Warriors of Fox. For Tim Hicks and Derek Rallman, all of our sporting programs, I'm Frankie Castile saying so long from Bushwoods and Poplar Bluff. We'll see you back here Friday